Hello everyone and welcome back to Send It's Weather channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 10-day trend once again, because that's all we can do at the moment really, because it's changing so much. And we were looking at high pressure for a few days, and then we're going to change to low, wet and windy, especially for the northwest of England and parts of the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland. However, things have slightly changed, especially around day 10, and we'll take a look first at the GFS, the Global Forecasting Model, the main model, which runs out to about 16 days. We're going to mainly focus on the next 10 days because that's only the Canadian model and the European, the Norwegian, the European model can run out to. But from the outset, as you can see, today we have winds coming up from the south, or beginning to come up from the south anyway, with low pressure just to our west. Winds are coming up from the south. It's been very unsettled right now. It's raining, but it is quite mild. Even under this rain shower, it is, according to my weather station, it is 14.6 degrees. I do know that in the south it has reached 20 degrees in parts of eastern London, sorry. But obviously with these southerly winds it will be unsettled slightly, especially for Northern Ireland as well. But as we run along through the rest of Wednesday, as you can see, low pressure does move in through into Thursday, and then high pressure begins to build in. However, it's broken down by the Atlantic once again, which is bringing these stormy unsettled low pressure systems, which are just running just to our north, which could skirt parts of northwestern Scotland and give some rain there, and some strong winds as well, as the isobars are quite tight. If they are tight like this, then there could be some winds. We'll have a look at the wind charts in a minute for that. But as you can see, winds are still always coming up from the southwest through Friday, Saturday and into Sunday, so very mild. However, this low pressure from off the Atlantic runs along the jet stream, as we've seen recently, and gives a battering of rain. It could be a name storm, not too sure yet. Doesn't look as tight as yesterday, doesn't look as tightly packed isobars, so it doesn't look as windy, but it would still be windy. Rain especially focused on parts of northwestern Scotland, possibly even northern Scotland and the Northern Ireland, primarily. 980 millibars at the centre, so yes, strong winds are definitely possible. The wind changes direction from more of a southwesterly to more of a westerly. Still relatively mild in the south. Pest from the west, as some might call it. Then the wind changes back to the southwest. Low pressures continue rattling in from off the Atlantic, so it does look very unsettled and wet. The south might be quite dry as it's closest to this high pressure centred. Just to the east of the country, Germany, France, Netherlands, Italy is where the high pressure centred. So we bring in the winds from the southwest. However, this low pressure, which develops along the jet, moves just to our east, and on this run we bring down a northerly wind. The high pressure begins to migrate slightly further, or retrogresses, towards Greenland, and we start to bring in winds from a chilly northerly as this low pressure moves towards Scandinavia and Norway. As you can see on the temperatures, the -5 line moves into the country, which is why I said before that even though the high pressure is building in, so it will be dry, it will be turning drier, it will be cold, so expect frost and fog if this came off. Now, as I said, it probably will not, because the other ones are not going for this, but if this came off, there would be potential for wintry showers in the north, especially. Could even be along eastern coast, but I'd assume it's too early in the year for that to happen. But I wouldn't worry about it too much, because the other ones aren't going as cool or potentially as cold as this. This is an outlier, so we'll ignore that for now. Obviously, I did say to ignore it past that, but high pressure topples in. That's a cold ridge, so frost and fog is definitely possible throughout the country. And it's quite a cold ridge, really. High pressure centred just to our north, and it remains quite dry until the very end of the run. So GFS on this one definitely goes. After that northerly, and the low pressure's rattling in, which could be very wet, especially for the north and the west. Brings in this high pressure, which topples, and is quite a cold ridge. Might be quite warm in the upper air temperatures, so that's 1,500 meters above sea level. But on the ground temps won't be influenced too much, won't be impacted too much. But yeah, this is interesting to see from the GFS today. I assume it won't come off, but we'll have a look at the other models anyway, just see what they're saying. So the GEM, the Canadian model, brings it in the same high pressure from the south. Winds in from the south, that mini low, which could bring some rain to the northwest and Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland. That zips through. There's the the storm system, that looks really quite bad there. Very severe from the GEM. Let's have a look and focus on the centre of the low. That is a proper storm system. 950 millibars, that will be a named storm. Met Air and the Met Office will be straight on naming that, especially for Northern Ireland, northwestern Scotland. Sorry, can't get my words out today. Northwestern Scotland, and as you can see, the isobars are very tightly packed, which means that there will be very, very, very strong winds with this, and there could be damage. There probably would be weather warnings. As you can see, wind gusts, another in kilometres an hour, 112 kilometres an hour. And that moves just to eastern Scotland as well on this run. But you can see some very high wind totals, which are just out in the Atlantic, or the Irish Sea, you could call it, which are up to like 60, 70 miles an hour, which 80 miles an hour, which would cause damage. But as you've just seen from the other run, and it's only 4 days away, I doubt this would come off, but you can't rule it out. But it zips to the north and gets wrapped up within the tropospheric polar vortex, and we stay in a southwesterly flow, mild, and then unsettled conditions return by next weekend, according to this, 26th of October. So, again, westerly, southwesterly, more rain, just unsettled again. Although it does look slightly dry with the GEM, but like with this here, in only 96 hours, then I'm not sure what to think to the rest of the run, but it could come off. It's still an option. It does bring in cooler conditions towards the end. ECM finally, and we'll look at the midnight run, and we'll put it on that. Shows again the similar pattern. Low pressure rattles in. Here's that low. In fact, this one's in the middle of the road. It's stronger than the GFS, the American model, but it's less than the Canadian, less severe. So it's middle of the road. This would still be bad for especially northern Scotland. So this might be a named storm. We'll have a look in the next few days and see how it develops. But this will definitely be bad for northwest Scotland and possibly the tip of the north of Ireland, as that zips through as well. Winds continue to come in from the west and southwest, so dry, especially for the south. Could be quite dry for central regions as well. After Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looks quite mild throughout the whole run. And yeah, so that's the 10-day look ahead. What do I think? Well, to start with, things are remaining unsettled. But as the southerly arrives, or continues to arrive, it should become more settled. But it is bringing unsettled conditions at the moment. As I'm recording this, it's very unsettled at the moment. As we go through though into the next few days, things do dry out after this little low zips through. For Friday into Saturday, but Sunday could be very, very wet, especially for the north, but it's not exclusively. Could be some rain showers and longer spells of rain for central and northern regions. As that zips through, we're into a west-southwesterly, the high pressure centre just to our east, bringing up these winds from the southwest, and obviously at the end of the day, 10G, the ECM run looks like it will set up a northerly or northwesterly, and is already beginning to, but again, drier at this point. That low's going to zip through the country. So, yeah, looking unsettled, a bit bleak, really. High pressure, not as dominant as we first thought it would be, but still will have some influence on the weather, but definitely wettest in the north and the west. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video and you found it informative, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for 100 subscribers, much appreciated, and all the new people that are watching, just doing what I love doing, really. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.